What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm excited to see this one because I haven't seen or heard anything. I try to consume all my basketball content with you guys because I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to do it. Might as well get a video out of it. But this is the FIBA EuroBasket tournament that's going on currently. Slovenia versus Germany. Slovenia, obviously, Luka Doncic. Germany, we got the Wagner brothers. So this will be pretty good. Schroeder as well, I think. Not sure if they're all playing, but let's get into it. It's just the highlights. All right, into our pick and roll. Oh my gosh. So you remember what I was talking about on pick and rolls? You typically, again, this is why I don't like when people teach certain aspects of star players, because they play a little bit different than how most of us shouldn't be playing. Typically off of a pick and roll. So this is a hedge. Typically you want to play a little bit faster. So it wants to be more ball movement, more player movement. So if Luka can get to here, we can get into our action, like our spacing actions. Obviously this play might have been set up for this. Maybe there's more action going on here, but typically you want to move off the pick and roll. You don't want to like walk off of it. Luka is a special player who obviously has tons and tons of different things he can do. So he just walks, gets the mismatch. He's got two on him for a second. Now the back screen comes up straight away. Miscommunication on the back screen. He throws a left-handed lob. A left-handed lob from almost half court. On the money. Perfectly on the money. And then people, the difference between NBA and overseas, pretty much you're not going to see guys just run off of this and catch and 360 windmill. So that turning into a miss, no assist, like... Oh, he got fouled. Crazy. What we got here? Hey. So one of the Wagners just coming off the dribble handoff, goes up for the off of the Euro, just loses the ball. Wow. Just range. We talk about, so this is just like a horns. We've talked about horns before. You just get two screens up top. There's tons of different actions you can run off this, but pretty much every single team runs some form of horns. Typically it's just going to be like a ball screen and then dribble off the ball screen and then into a flare screen. It's typically just going to be screen the screener. But this is a pass entry. So they probably have tons of different reads off all of these options. But yeah, throws it into the post, comes back, gets the ball. I like these types of actions, not even if you're not a scorer, but I like getting the ball to our guard or to a decision maker with the ball in their hands in a triple threat. So without having to be in a dribble and then read and see what's going on and have to deal with a defender, if you can pass it, get it back, and you can sit there and hold and look for all your options, because now you've still got your dribble. Luka just pulls up from New Zealand. Oh, great pass. Just spacing. Good pass. Not panicking out of the double team. So this still wasn't ideal. This is probably a habit that I see against with young players all the time. Dribble baseline, it's not on, right? There's like you're dribbling baseline. You obviously don't have a layup because your first dribble, and already right now you should be by your defender if you're going to go take on a second defender. If you haven't beat him already, you can't just keep dribbling further and further to the corner, right, or to the baseline, because there's already help. So one dribble, you have to make a quick decision. Am I past him? If I am past him, now I can get to the second layer. I can Euro, I can jump stop, I can spin move. I've got my other options. But you can't just keep going further right. He does realize it late, and he just picks the ball up. I always advocate dribble here, retreat dribble. If you get to this spot and you're unsure if you can get that, just retreat dribble out, live to fight another day, kick it out. He picks it up. But again, so he made his decision right here when the defense forced him to. If he was proactive, he could have made the pass earlier. Didn't see it. Again, this is all probably just IQ, but makes a play, right? You don't want to pick the ball up in a double team. picks it up. He's not on balance. Like everyone's loading up against him now. Jumping, fading away, gets it all the way to the corner. So it ended up being the right play, but for the wrong reasons. That's kind of just individual brilliance, but IQ-wise wasn't the right play. It was the right play to pass. It just wasn't the right play to get stuck in that spot. And this is why I say basketball's not perfect. You got to keep playing. You got to make plays. All right, so again, gets it off another handoff. Nice. Terrible defense, but this is why you run all of those actions, right? Luka Doncic having to guard. Is this Franz Wagner? I forget the other Wagner. But fighting over. So then they just switch this. Luka switches out early and then expects the big to switch now. And this is the biggest gripe on Luka, especially. It's fine in the NBA because all your other players can switch out and they can defend and they can hide you on defense. But there's so many actions in EuroLeague offense that if you're just expecting to always switch out, there's going to be tons of mismatches. They're just going to pick you apart. And honestly, that's what happens in the playoffs as well. So would love to see Luka fight through on this better, either just fight over the top or completely go under. But just gets stuck and just very lazy, gives it up. But Wagner, 1-2, all the way to the rim for a dunk. You see an opening, you go. Yeah, that's Franz. Now look at the difference. Franz fighting over the top now. And now this would be on the big, not being there for the help. So you've got your guard fighting over the top, but the big staying attached to his guy. He should actually be here to help because your gap defender can't leave. Luka makes that one pass easy. He can't completely leave because Luka makes that pass. This is where this would be on the big not being there. He still sprints back, just gets there a second late, get the reach in, counts the basket. Wow. For as bad as he is defensively, he's so good on offense, like generational elite on offense. Good defense, transition. That's kind of what we talked about the other day with Marcus Smart, right? Like getting in the way and just like not necessarily hollowing out, but just like getting in their way enough, but not reaching, not swiping, make them make a play. Whoever this guy is, he seems very young, and I don't know who it is. He might not be, but he's just made a couple mistakes that I see typically in like young players a lot. Just like driving in, feeling contact, and you're like, I have to pick the ball up and jump. It's like, no, like you got contact, great. Like you can retreat dribble, you can jump stop and play off of two comfortably. He looks very athletic. Like you should never get to a spot one-on-one where you feel like you got to pick the ball up and do a fadeaway pass across your body. Another pick and roll. Oh my God. Like Luka is using the ball to do all of his work. Like he's not sprinting off the screen. He's not physically moving. His teammates are also just standing. Again, he's just a better version of James Harden to me. Like this pass is wild. Like freezes all of these guys just because he's like hooking the pass. So it could be going here, could be going here. Even Wagner over here on the side is like, oh, I don't know if I should help or not. But yeah, squeezes it in. Great pass. Oh, nice. This is one of our footworks that we teach over on the Patreon. But yeah, transition, running your lane. Again, Luka. Let's watch Luka on this. I hate to do it, but yeah, maybe that's not Luka. Goes for that little cheap steal. Oh, it's definitely Luka because he was complaining to the ref. That's how I know it's him. Yeah, but right here, this is a frustration thing. Oh, my knee. This is a frustration thing that Luka does a lot. And I call this fake hustle. I had a lot of teammates. Everyone's probably got one guy on their team that does this, but it's like, it looks like to some people, this looks like he's trying hard because it's like, look, he went for a steal. But he just like completely takes himself out of the play and he puts his teammates in a really tough position now. The highest percentage offenses in the world are transition offenses. That's why every team pushes transition so much nowadays, because it's the highest rate of scoring out of any other type of offense there is. So now that you just take yourself out of the play, rather than everyone staying in front, making them run an offense, now it's a 5-on-4, completely takes himself out. Now he looks at the ref and is complaining about something. And now you've put this guy on the backside having to guard into a 2-on-1. That's why this all works. But then once you get into a situation as an offensive player into a 2-on-1, you just make the right play. Like, the defense can't cover everything. You just take what they give you. So one dribble, pick up. If he commits, you pass. If he doesn't commit, we get into our Euro step actions or our jump stop actions, or we've got so much different footwork you can do off of this, but just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Pick and roll. Nice. Picking on Luka. And he's one of my favorite players. One of my favorite players to watch, but he destroys his teams defensively. What did we talk about a few games? Chris Likes, maybe? And TJ Shorts. We spoke about this. It is so important, especially overseas, but honestly, no, you know what? Everywhere it's important to show up when your player is setting a screen. Like, you got to be attached. Luka needs to show up at the same time the screen is happening, and then this player would want to get attached to Franz on this ball screen. So you want to be there as the screen is happening. Right now, especially an NBA caliber player, like, this is just a wide open three. Like, Luka's just not there, not attached. But it's like, why not? If this were the defensive call of like, hey, we're just going to play off of this screen, because you're going to see this a lot and be like, how come it's okay when this guy does it? This is an NBA caliber, like, averaged like 20-something points a game last year. Like, you can't just not guard. And then and Luka even knows, like, that's an open shot for Luka, and shot clock winding down. Like, you got to be attached. So when people say Luka's not good at defense, it's more like, the reason I get frustrated, and I think a few others, is like, it looks like like an effort thing. It looks like he just doesn't care. Because we know, look what he does on offense. He's definitely smart enough. He can't be bothered. Nice. Did he sprint straight away? Yeah, just as soon as that turnover happened. See what Luka does as well. I didn't mean for this to be like a Luka low light session, but turnover, instantly starts running. Takes a second to go back. Luka just backpedaling. Like, gambles early again. He gambles early all the time to try and get this steal. But as soon as you do that, like, now it's wide open layup. The amount of times he gambles forward. We saw Drew Holiday do this. We saw Marcus Smart do this. But they pick and choose when they do it. They definitely don't go forward once the ball is already picked up and getting ready to be passed, right? You just need to turn and run. And this is I don't know. I'm just trying to guess. I'm going to try to get in a player's head here for a second. I just know offensively, especially if these guys have been playing together all throughout the year, and then Luka comes in late, like, I'm sure they love playing with Luka, and he's probably like a hero in their country, and it's amazing, great, whatever. But at some point, when you're asked to just stand and space, just watch this split second. We're going to slow it down, and I'm just going to show, like, what's the difference between Franz taking off, and sorry I don't know all the names of these players, but Franz taking off, his brother must not be playing, by the way, and this guy not taking off. What do we think the difference is? Look, hands just down. He's like, he knows he's not getting it, and he's just like, dang it. And then Franz is like, ooh, layup, and he's just like, right? Like, it just feels different when you're the offensive player and one of your teammates is just dominating the ball the whole time, and you're just like, yep, ooh, don't need that play, good job, okay. But then the third or fourth or fifth play, eventually you're like hands on your hips, like, you know you're not going to get it. Then the turnover happens, you're like, like, that kind of looks like what's happened. And again, this isn't supposed to be Luka slander. He's one of my favorite players, but I think that's the missing piece for him from being Luka Doncic or being MVP Luka, championship ring winning Luka. I think that's the one piece. He's also extremely young, so whatever. I think I'm trying to just word and break down why people feel specific ways about him. But everyone felt the same way kind of about Shea this year. They had their criticisms and gripes about him, and then he goes, wins MVP, wins a championship. So you're always going to have your haters, and things that you don't do perfectly, but I do feel like this really does hold him back. Oh, I thought you made that. Yeah, just slow close out. Oh, that's the other Wagner, right? Nice. And again, back to being elite. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, kicks ahead. He doesn't move fast, but he makes the defense have to move constantly because how far he's willing to pass the ball. And he is a very willing passer. Like, he'll throw it if a guy is open, even if they're not necessarily open to shoot or to score. Yeah, just caught watching the ball. So especially if you've already got, I mean, he's in a tough spot, right? Like, he's got I don't know what the defense is doing here. Probably miscommunication, maybe a zone. Yeah, this guy down here just completely lost. This guy having to guard kind of 3. That was just really weird defense, actually. Slovenia not known for defense, maybe. Luka's gift and his curse. This is like the Shea thing, right? Just super nonchalant. I don't think this works very well at this level because all these guys just play so hard and have so much pride, and even the referees don't really give too many. It's a different whistle than what you get in the NBA. So you're not going to get let off the hook if you're just like jogging up and being nonchalant and someone bumps into you. Like, the referees almost kind of let it go a little bit more. But this is really good defense. Well, decent defense, but yeah, for the big to just come up and pressure, I don't think he should. Oh, slipped on the most slippery part of the court. I used to hate those. They always had them in the key over in Australia, and the whole paint would just be slick. So he just falls on the telemark. Otherwise, that was good defense. Luka able to see the pass as he always does. Nice hedge. Damn. This is just our pick. What they call it? Shake action. I didn't know this was called shake action. But we learned that in the film room. Is that the video we were watching? But yeah, just get our pick and roll, lift from the corner. So I've always known what the action was. I just never knew what it was called. Pretty cool. Learn something all the time. Dunker spot. This is how most of you, if you're not the scorer on your team and you're not a guard that's doing a lot with the ball in your hands, if you're someone who's like, I don't know where to stand, I don't know how to help my team, this dunker spot, you're going to find so many opportunities to score the ball, to get rebounds, just so many good things happen, and you're out of the way where you're not on the ball side crowding the ball. Your player can't really help, and if they do help, you just need to make a quick play. Doesn't matter if you score it, just make the right play. So dunker spot, dunker spot, dunker spot. As soon as you catch it, just go up. I think he bobbled the ball a little bit, but a lot of people think they need to dribble to get closer. If you catch there, just shoot a little floater, or on the catch, you can be going to the basket, catch and finish at the backboard. But this is such an important part of the floor, especially nowadays, that people just don't utilize enough. Yeah. Luka at the elbow. Yeah, what play are we running? The Doncic. Eyes again. We talk about getting your teammate open with your eyes. So this defender back here, the captain at the moment, has to guard 2 players. Luka does this probably better than anyone. Gets in the air. And then Luka and Halliburton probably do this better than anyone. Jump in the air, and what it does to the defense, it feels weird because you're like, oh, he's in the air, he's in a vulnerable position, like now I can gamble. So it makes you like really antsy, and the first place you see their eyes go, like you usually jump that way. It's just like it's a human instinct thing we have. So Luka jumps up, looks to the left, looks like he's playing these two passes, gets this guy to jump. This is what I mean, like overseas, like you better just play through it. He clearly, like, no ball, just all arm. They just like play through it. And this is for you guys at home. This right here, I don't know what he's saying. He might be saying, hey, great job, keep working. But this right here, these guys aren't as talented as the NBA guys that he plays with. But right here, like the look of like we didn't score that. I see that way too much in our young players nowadays. Ooh. And you just sent me a message today. How do you get by someone if you're not as quick? Well, you can have great footwork. So Luka goes left to get his defender to go left. Luka does this onside step better than almost anyone. Like, but his step was so early. Like his onside step is already happening. And then he gets into his crossover step, into his Euro. So one dribble to beat the defense, one dribble to set up your next move. So he goes into like a Euro fadeaway. I don't know why he's looking at the ref for a foul. But yeah, ideally, just so I know you'll have some questions. So this onside step here, I would hope that when Luka does this, that foot goes forward a little bit. So pushing off the left leg, and that foot should go forward. But just athletically, he's not that athletic. So his foot, like he doesn't go anywhere. Still pushes off the back foot, gets into his crossover step. Hope that made sense. Oh, okay. Couple things. Lights went out. That was wild. But for, again, just the effort here from Luka. This was crazy. Is this guy okay? Is he all right? And even that, though, he's like looking at his teammate to be like, oh, you got it? Watch. He's like, oh, you got this. So then he just like lets up. I don't know. I think that's the next part of his game. If he wants to win championships, he's really got to. Man, what a finish. Every time I say something negative, if you can do that, I guess you can just not run back in transition. Screw it, right? Germany was like this in the Olympics and in the World Cup when they won a couple years ago. They just play hard, and look at how many like rebounds and kickouts and second chance opportunities they get. They just play hard. I wonder what Luka ended up with this game. Whose fault is this? Whose responsibility is blocking out the shoot? The shooter gets the rebound. Okay, shooter gets the rebound. Watch Luka. Watch his hands. Who are you mad at, buddy? That's you. That's you. Another thing, most people don't realize this. Even though you guys probably watched the Olympics, you probably didn't recognize. Look at you can only have 2 on offense, obviously. So you've only got 3 people in there. Defensively, you also can only have 3 people on the free throw line. You can't have typically what you have here in America. You have 4. So you'd have offense, or defense. You have 4. You only have 3. So it's perfect matchup, 3 on 3. So it's like, who's boxing out who? Well, obviously, Luka's got the shooter. And this is the thing. Like, so this is where it gets tough when you evaluate players. The stat sheet can lie, and the eye test can also lie. So Steph Curry, people know that offensive teams hunt Steph Curry to make him play defense. But it's not because he doesn't play defense. He's just physically unable to guard some of the NBA players. So what Steph Curry does is he's really good at communicating, switching off the ball, getting loose balls, getting deflections. Like, didn't he lead the league in steals for a couple years? But just it's all off ball, right? He gets passing lanes. He does enough defensively and does enough on the other stuff, set screens. He does enough without the ball to where he's not a defensive liability. Jokic is the same. Everyone knocks the eye test will tell you Steph Curry and Jokic are really bad defensively. You watch Jokic, like, he's communicating too. He's pre-switching so he doesn't get bad matchups. If he is in a bad matchup, he'll deny. If he gets stuck on Steph Curry, he won't let Steph catch. Like, he'll deny until they can get a switch back. Like, but if he gets caught on an island with KD, KD's going to score every time. If he gets on an island with LeBron, LeBron's going to score every time. If he gets on an island with these good players, he just doesn't get caught in an island often. So that's the difference. But when you watch Luka, to me, it's like he doesn't do any of the other stuff defensively. So just that, the box out on a free throw, like, just do that. And he does it because, and I understand why he does it, and this is what makes him so good offensively. He wants this rebound so he can catch on the run. He's wanting this guy to get the rebound so he can catch on the run, kick it ahead to his teammate. So it's like he's not doing it for selfish reasons, but as much as he's giving us on the offensive end right now, you also give up a rebound, a missed free throw. So maybe he made the first free throw, and now we get a wide open three because he's still not sprinting out. Hold on. And then look what it does to your teammates. Look at this guy right here, boxing out, chases after it, didn't get it, so he's guarding the ball. One pass. Oh, shoot, I'll be the guy that closes out. Sprints out. Crash. He's like, oh, I'll get the rebound if I need to. Luka didn't move that whole possession. He didn't move that whole time. And that's what I was saying. At some point, as a teammate, as much as you love playing with a player, at some point, you're probably also like, come on, man. Like, you got to rebound. You got to do this. So, and same thing. But like, this video has completely changed what we're looking at now. So he does a good job here because he doesn't want to have to switch out. So it's smart, it's smart to not switch out sometimes, right? But it's really because he doesn't want to move. Watch this. So he tells him to switch. Switch. You stay out. It looks for where the rebounder is. Shot goes up. Watch this awesome box out. So it's like, yes, they made it. But even if they miss, where's the ball likely going to go? Bing. It's going to go to this side. It's likely going to go there. This guy's probably getting that rebound. And it's interesting. I wonder what goes through his head. If he is saving himself for offense, like maybe his offense goes down if he does more on defense. Like that's very likely, and maybe he's like, I'll be less effective if I do that. Maybe he's doing those calculations in his head, but it's just hard to, as a coach, as another player, it's like really hard to watch and not think like, what if you just played really hard defensively? Maybe. Let's see it. Nothing really opened up there. I think he poked in the eye, I guess. Again, it's not his fault. But when we talk about win conditions, it's like, how many times can you make a play that's not supposed to be your play, right? So players will often say like, well, wasn't my man, or that wasn't my box out, or he was closer than I was, or whatever. You can make any excuse you want, but just be the player. Just go do it. Just go get an extra play right here. And like just leaking out rather than like, let's get the play. Let's get the opportunity. You're down 6. Now they just get another opportunity to shoot. Now you're down 8. It's like, damn, all I had to do was go get the rebound. And to me, it's just like, he's so good, you want to have him on the court all the time. But this is the other part of it. Like, if he's resting, it's like, yeah, he might go score. He's going to score for us on offense, but we're also going to give up rebounds and extra scores here because he's just not trying. And then watch this, like into the jog up the court, because he's resting. He needs to rest so he can go carry the offense. But it's like, at some point, you gotta make sure like carrying the offense and not playing defense isn't outweighing. Like, maybe I could do a little bit less offense and a lot more defense. Yeah, maybe we can get those a lot closer, and overall that's like way better for your team. Maybe I'm just talking out of my head, out of the side of my head. And like his teammates are capable, right? And this was always the knock on James Harden. Like, this is good offensive play. We get this back screen. We get a swing to the wing. We get a rescreen. So this is kind of that off-ball Spain pick and roll stuff. Flashes to the basket. Luka's wide open. They don't make the pass, but still get highest percentage shot in basketball. Like, that's good offense. You can play without Luka. Not saying all the time, but it's okay to run some plays through other guys, and then you can use some of that energy for defense. No way. What? That's what these guys don't suck. That's a hard shot. These guys, like, his teammates don't suck. I think he's cold. Franz Wagner. This is crazy. So one dribble from the top of the key. So one dribble to beat your defender, one dribble to set him up. That's an insane pickup from the elbow all the way to the rim. That's nice. That's nice. Man, he's killing them. It's the Luka and Wagner show, except I think Franz doing way more defensively. Oh, this is that. You see this a ton, and I've tried to teach this to our high school kids, and they just can't comprehend it. This is another thing. If you're not let's say you're a dunker spot guy, you play off the ball and you want to know how can you help your team. This type of screen, you can sprint into a screen for one, but you can also sprint into a screen and then set it on the opposite side. So watch this. So that defender was ready for the screen the other way. Luka was ready for that screen the other way. It's called a twist. Typically a twist is like screen and rescreen. I guess he just flipped the screen. But yeah, now Luka's super out of position. Obviously, he's not going to help this defender. So he's kind of going to be on an island by himself. And now Franz has the mismatch with Luka slightly out of position. And the best time to do that, if you have a bad defender guarding you, because if you're the worst player on your team offensively, you're probably going to have the worst defender on you. Go be a screener. Because that guy won't want to guard screens, and you can go pick on him. So if Luka's guarding you because you're the worst offensive player, and I don't know this guy defense, I don't know if he is, but Luka's guarding him right here. Yeah, I'm going to go set a screen, make Luka play some defense. That's a matchup Germany would want all night. Oh, and so I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but just to shortcut what we talked about earlier, this is where Steph Curry and Jokic are different. So right here, and you'll see this now. I challenge you to go watch this. Steph Curry, right at this moment, if he knew this was going into a screen, and what he does typically, Steph might just sprint to here and have this defender, maybe that's Draymond Green, he might just sprint to here and Draymond would sprint up. And you need other teammates to understand their role too and trying to keep you out of these tough spots. But yeah, Steph Curry would be communicating this right now and sprint away. Draymond would go with this, so now it's Draymond Green switching out on the screen and defending that pick and roll. It's anybody else, Andre Iguodala back in the day. It's other defenders would switch out and get Steph Curry off the ball into the corner. So Klay Thompson. There's a way to play defense if you're not, and to take care of your weaknesses rather than just like, no, I just don't play defense and then I just play really hard on offense. I think that's just a non-negotiable. If you physically can't do it, then you have to talk and be prepared and switch and communicate, all that sort of stuff. No excuse to just like not try. Good drive. Oh, exactly the pass I said not to do. When we were watching my highlights, definitely a bounce pass or over the top. Because depending on the big you're playing with, this is a hard pass to catch. Going low to high and throwing a bullet like that, it's a tough pass to catch. If you bounce it, he can just go into a dunk. If you lob it, he can just go into a dunk. Tough pass. But watch Luka's effort here. It would be these two guys needing to sprint back first. Furthest one back. 3-on-2, wide open layup. That's got to be frustrating, right? Nice. That was really good. I was watching that play develop because the other day when we were watching, I believe it was Mike James, I think, and it was a horn set, similar, but this Iverson cut over the top, and then, the other guard going underneath. So that's a typical Iverson, but then hitting the post player and getting the back door here. That's really good because now you've got the shooter over here in the corner too. I like that. It's very simple, and I'm surprised I haven't seen that more off of Iverson actions. Very good. I like that. I'm gonna have to put that in with my high school boys because we have a Iverson play. Man, that little move does it again. I still think he can get a little bit more, but again, this is explosiveness and athleticism that he just probably doesn't have. Right here when he stops, he just plants his foot into the floor and then does this crossover step. So it's still really, really, really good. I'm only imagining Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, some of the guys he struggles with, and I think where he can, because they'd still be here on his hip, and it would just push his driving lane out a little bit more. I think that's where, if he can get that onside step, it'd help him with those types of matchups. But again, you can get the switch fairly easy in the NBA until the playoffs start. Luka Magic. Wow, I didn't call that. And honestly, I don't mind when there's no calls, especially on this. This is crazy, splitting the screen like that. And honestly, the people that are going to get the whistle, Luka's like one of the only guys that's going to get like the favorable whistle over here. Not many others. Damn. Nice. So that is the other Wagner brother, right? Oh, nice cut. Really good cut here. So this is kind of that same action. It's basically just what did we used to call this? I'm trying to remember what we called this in Australia. It's just like a double high screen though. Miscommunication, how they wanted to guard that. So now your captain defender has to guard here, and he's responsible for this corner. And then it's really just a 3-on-2. Sees the back of his defender's head, so he cuts. Nice job. Had two options. That was really good. And when you're coaching young players, like when you're coaching kids, honestly, every level, you should do small-sided games. So if you can, you want to do a drill that, let's just take the guy with the ball. So you'd like to do some drills to help when this stuff happens in a game. You want it to be like bang, bang, bang. You want it to be a reaction. Most players over here in America really struggle with making the right decision. Maybe you get two guys cutting in at once, like, because they don't practice this enough. So in practice, you want to find tons of opportunities to set up something like this, like 3 offensive players. Let's get 2 defenders, and you can have them do 3 reps in a row. Let's get through it quick. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, rotate. Next group. Bang, bang, bang. And you can get a group on the other end doing the same thing, but let's get reps. Let's do this for 10 minutes. Let's get as many reps as we can in this, so you get to practice this situation. So you can just have a 3-on-2. You can set it up in a bunch of different ways, but basically set up a 3-on-2 and just go, okay, defense, you can defend it however you want. Offense, your goal is to score. You've got one pass. You're allowed to pass one time, or you're allowed 2 passes, or this is kind of that constraint-led approach as well. You're allowed 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds to score. So you could teach them what to do, but you want them to explore first. So you want to drive, see who commits. Like if he doesn't stop you, it's all the way for the layup. If he commits, you've got your pass to the corner, you've got your pass to the top of the key, whatever. But then you start letting these guys learn and practice these scenarios and mess up and make mistakes. And what you're learning the whole time is dribbling and passing. You're learning spacing, catch and shoot. You're learning defensively how to rotate and scramble out of these situations. You're learning a lot. You're learning a ton. This would be, quote unquote, a small-sided game. So right here, I'd be like, all right, good score, 5, 4, 3. I'd be counting down, telling them to go set up again. Same spots, go set up again, go. 5, 4, 3. Okay, go set up again, go. And then after they've done 3, I'd go rotate. So either go to a different spot or offense go to defense, whatever, however you want to rotate. But it's reps. We need as many reps as we can in that. And I think that's something I wish I would have done more. I wish my coaches knew that when I was younger. I've just seen so much improvement from those sort of things. Man, baseline rip, up and under. Jeez. Man, really good dig down. You know how we say this defender is responsible for 60% of the drive, 100% of their player. If you're gonna dig down, if you're gonna go. He just goes, attacks it, get on it. I hate when people like half-ass it, like I don't know what I'm doing. If you're gonna go. Definitely not Wagner. Who is that? Cold. It's crazy. And okay, also, let me fix this too. Some of you, I was talking in the comments, and one of my big pet peeves, I said this in a few videos ago, I hate when NBA players don't shoot this shot because they don't want to ruin their percentage, right? But then you watch the European guys, you watch overseas, like they want to win. They want to score every time. Like, I don't care about my percentage. Like, I'm going to shoot this shot. And one of you was saying, yeah, but you can understand, like, they make money based on their percentages and whatever. And I do get it. I understand it. But I don't think there's anyone that's shooting these shots at the end of the buzzer and then they're getting less of a contract. Like, you have more control over what's happening during the regular season than you do like, oh, I shot 3 more buzzer beaters and that brought my percentage down 0.02%, and now I'm making 10 less million. Like, I doubt that really happens. I doubt that ever happens. But at the same time, the NBA is now putting a rule in to where that shot doesn't count against the player. What do you mean? It's a shot. Why does it not count? It's a mindset that the NBA player, just shoot the ball. Just shoot the ball. I get it. If you're not going to shoot it, then don't shoot it. That's fine. You don't need to change rules to incentivize players to try and win. If you're having to, this is my biggest problem with the NBA. If you're having to put in rules to get people to want to win, like there's something foundationally wrong. This is where I go back to the betting. I go back to the NBA calling itself entertainment rather than a sport. And that's what they've legally changed their category to entertainment and not a sport because of all the betting, because of all the match fixing. I don't know how much there is. I don't know, but the NBA doesn't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. So they're entertainment. They can do these sort of things. Now you're becoming too much entertainment is the problem, and it's less about winning. How many NBA teams are trying to win a championship every year? Like 6 or 7. The rest of them are like, we're just happy to be here. We're just here to sell jerseys. We're just here to, some of the players are like, I'm just here to make an all-star team, or I'm just here to get my check. Like, it's turned into a different thing. It's not about winning anymore. Sorry for the rant, but this was the perfect example. You don't get these moments often because so many guys are like, no, I don't want to shoot it and lower my percentage by 0.001 over the course of a season. Like, what are we doing? Shoot the ball. Stop being weird. Shoot it. And except if you are the one guy who's getting 5 minutes a game and you're shooting 50% from the 3 and you want to keep your percentage, I get it. If you're that guy, literally anyone else, shoot the ball. Stop being weird. Just pick and pop. Nice. This is a typical pick and roll, and this is a pass you need to be able to make. Luka is always in a weak position or a weak stance, but he uses that kind of like judo. He wants the defense to overreact and try to pressure him. That way he can like spin around, do other stuff. So I wouldn't say put the ball over your head and lean back because they'll get into you. But being able to make this pass around these hands off the pick and roll, and it needs to be straight and on the money, because look how much time. He doesn't have a ton of time with this guy sprinting. But if it can be a good pass and on the money, now it feels like he's got all day. That's a very, very high level. Doesn't look very high level. It's a very fundamental high level play. And again, that's the brilliance of Luka, making it look extremely easy. Nice, good rebound. So Luka's off. They're down 12. Well, probably 14. Ooh. Man, that's just they're just playing out. This was a crazy pass right here. He wanted to pass. He wanted to drop this off to the big. The guard did a really good job of rotating over, so he had to like jump and do that wraparound. But this is where being lazy, like, this is a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, you're the last line of defense. If you just keep doing your job, that pass doesn't get there, because he just lets up because he thinks he's out of bounds, or he thinks he's going to throw it here. He thinks he's going to make the play a different play. Like, you see this a lot when someone drives baseline and this back defender just turns and watches, and then they zip it past their head to the corner. You see it all the time. I hate it so much. Like, just keep playing. But because he's not hands up, like ready, not on the balls of his feet, ready to play, he's like, oh, shoot. And then slow on the closeout. Damn, heartbreaker. Oh, glass me. All right, can they make the comeback? 11-point game. Nice. I mean, it's all just off the ball, just cuts. Looks like Germany's just taking their time running their offense. Slovenia doesn't have Luka in. He might be done. Nice. That was good. Same action we saw earlier with the double high screen, except this big just dives straight away. So now they have to defend it differently, right? So kicks it back. Yeah, so it's the same action we saw earlier, or it's the same play we saw earlier, just different actions now. And it might be a play call, or it might just be a read. It might just be up to the players to read what the defense gives. That was really good. Oof. Yeah. And that's all she wrote. We'll watch this last play here. Yeah, simple pick and roll. Yeah, that was really good. I'm sorry that took so long. I thought I was just going to watch highlights. I didn't realize we'd be able to break down so many different things. This was really good. Go check it out. It's linked down below as always. But I think it's amazing to watch how good and generational Luka is on the offensive end, and just the non-effort on the defensive end. I think it baffles me. Because like I do get it, and I think his first couple years I was just like, yeah, he's young, that's what's going to happen. But it's like it hasn't changed. Like, he hasn't. It's weird. It's like you don't see the improvements from year to year like you do with KD, right? He put on a little bit more weight, got a little bit stronger, and you're like, oh, okay, now he's dealing with contact better. Oh, now he's added a handle. Now he's added this. Now he's added this. Then you go to guys like Kobe, same thing, constantly added things. With Luka, it looks like he's just been generational and this good on offense for the last like 5 years, right? Like, it looks like he's just done this every year, and it's like, okay, when's the next thing? Like, when are we going to see the next evolution or the next thing? And that's what I'm like eager and hoping for. Like I say, he's one of my favorite players to watch, so I'm hoping for that, and I'm hopeful. He's still very young, so I'm not writing him off, but it is just like, I think for me, it's just very obvious to see. You just really got to put some effort in on the defensive end. But Franz Wagner, watch out. Like, this last season with the Magic, he killed it. He's been improving dramatically every single year, and I think the Magic are going to be a team to really look out for this upcoming season with Paolo Banchero. I think he has a really good opportunity to be in the MVP race. I'm excited to watch this upcoming season. All of that. I'm sorry, blabbering as per usual. I'll see you guys in the next video.